Hey yogis, Liz here. I'm coming on to do a quick tutorial on how to get into a headstand. So with any inversion, you just got to be patient and practice. So please don't be too forceful with any yoga posture because you're going to end up injured. So patience and practice. If you want to make sure that your shoulders are warm, I recommend maybe use like a yoga block. If you don't have one of these, just use something that, like a book even. You want to firm the elbows by pulling them in for 5 counts. Maybe lift the block just above the face for 5 and up overhead for 5. Do 2 or 3 rounds of that. There's 2 different clasps. You can have like a closed grip, closed grip, or you can have an open. I personally prefer the open hands. I feel like that my head is being cocooned in my hands. I feel an awful lot safer in that position. Your clasp is like a triangle, so if it's too broad, it's really unstable base. So think about the space that you're literally balancing on. It's your head and your forearms. So pull your elbows in towards your midline. I'm going to demo this here. So if I collapse down, you can see this, I'm sinking into the neck. Loads of weight is going to be bearing down onto the head. So I'm priming up my elbows, I'm rooting them down into the mat, and I'm also allowing the shoulder blades to round and actively pressing downward into the mat. So if I was upside down, this is the stability and the strength that I want, not this. The crown of my head will be down at the center of that triangle, cupped into my hands. My legs need to go nice and long. I'm going to show you 2 variations that I like to use. So pull the navel in, head goes down, and then just play around with the legs. Just alternate one leg lift. Maybe gather the knees in. Just get used to allowing yourself to feel the weight on your head and feel how much pressure is on your head and on your neck. Hopefully there's not like too much. If there's any pinching, you need to make sure that you're firming down a little bit more. The fourth variation I'm going to do is like a split. So it's where your body, your 2 legs are split and your body is going to be seeking balance. Let it, yeah? So allow your back foot like to tap off the wall or tap off the door. And then when you find that like middle ground, you really slowly start to bring the 2 legs up towards each other to meet. But you need to take your time and allow the body to find the balancing point first. So it's like a tipping point. So have a little look. Head down, eye gaze goes back in between the feet. I'm lifting up, priming my belly, drawing it in, and then a soft kick. This knee is going to be bent, and as I lift 90 degrees, I'm finding that balance, pull my navel in, and then I slowly draw the legs up. Now if I was in that 90, I might be tapping forward and backwards, and that's okay. Squeeze the navel in, pull the hip flexors forward so the legs come slightly forward, and then slowly descend. Try not just flop out of the posture. Allow yourself to rest. So that's one variation where it's almost like a tipping point so that you're playing with the legs. The other variation is where the top leg will stay really straight and firm, and you'll work on just kicking up and down. It's like a donkey kick. Just take a few kicks and then you'll find eventually the right amount of force where you'll come up and you'll find a balancing point. So that's why it takes practice, yeah? Because at first we might kick too hard and go over. That's why you have the wall there. Or we might kick too soft and just not get the leg up enough to find that space or that gravity point where you're just going to hold. So have a little look. So I get my arms. Tuck your little finger under, by the way. Yeah, I just want to show you that. So it's not out, it's under. Head goes down. Shoulders and elbows are actively engaged. So I'm not pulling my shoulder blades back and down, I'm rounding them so that they're going forward and up. Legs are primed. Top leg goes high. I bend and I kick. I bend and I kick. Play with gravity. Now I'm bending that knee here, yeah? That's allowing me to find my space before I lengthen. And then I squeeze in, lock in everything and hold. And I very gently descend down. I can bend into the knee and allow myself to tap. Now there is other variations where you can draw the 2 legs in. It's like you're like a little cocoon and then you extend the 2 legs up. I personally, just doesn't make sense for my body, but there's loads of different variations. There's 2 for you to play around with. Start to work on your shoulder strength. doing your exercises with your block, work on your core. Make sure that the legs stay really active, that they're not flopping, you're just kicking them around. Make sure that you're engaging the muscles as you kick. Take your time kicking up and down, and make sure that you have something to support you so that you don't fall. No pinching on the neck. If there is, back off the posture. Try and create a bit more length by keeping the legs down, and then bringing the crown of the head down, keeping the legs long. And when you start just to get used to that position, like that in itself is actually challenging to hold. So that position, let's get used to holding that, yeah? And then when you've built up your endurance in that position, then move on to lifting the legs. I hope you find that useful and in some way beneficial for you getting into this posture. Have a great weekend. Namaste.